Praise be Jesus Christ and Mary Immaculate. Welcome to this fourth Sunday of Advent. We're going to read from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 1, verses 39 to 45. In today's Gospel, we see a profound movement happening. Not just the physical meeting of two women that God has intervened in their life, but a deeper spiritual encounter. It begins with what is visible and moves to what is interior and unseen. Elizabeth sees Mary's coming to her home. She hears Mary's greeting. These are exterior signs, something that anyone in the house might have also witnessed. But Elizabeth does not stop at the surface. She is filled with God's Holy Spirit and sees beyond what is visible. She recognizes in faith that Mary is carrying the mother of my Lord, of her Lord. This is the first movement, from what we see with our eyes to what we recognize with the heart. The interior recognition, faith, and joy. The deeper recognition happens in the heart, in the interior, where God's Spirit speaks to us. Elizabeth's exclamation of faith is not just a polite greeting. It is a recognition of something holy and eternal happening before her. She recognizes that God is intervening in her life. The same thing happens with John the Baptist in the womb. He cannot see or hear the way that we do, yet he senses something and he leaps for joy. This is not an exterior reaction. It's something deeper. It's a spiritual recognition of the presence of Jesus, the promise of God come through. This shows us that real faith is not just about seeing miracles, attending church, or saying prayers as an obligation. It's about allowing God to speak to our hearts and to stir something deep within us. This movement from the exterior to the interior is essential for all spiritual life. Exterior recognition is where we begin. It's seeing a manger at Christmas, putting up the Christmas tree, writing Christmas cards, hearing the gospel proclaimed, or noticing the beauty of creation. These are all good and necessary, but they point to God. Interior recognition is where transformation happens. It is when we no longer just see or hear, but we believe. We recognize the presence of God in the quiet of our hearts. It's not just about seeing someone in need. It's about feeling compassion for them and responding. It's not just hearing the gospel. It's letting it challenge and change us. It's not just attending Mass. It's encountering Christ in the Eucharist and letting him dwell within us. Like Elizabeth, we are invited to move from what is obvious and external to what is hidden and interior. Faith is not just about appearance or rituals. It is about recognizing the living presence of Christ deep within us and those around us. Mary helps us understand this movement from head to heart. She does not carry Jesus like an object. She carries him within her, where he becomes part of her very being. This is a powerful image for us. We are called to carry Christ not just on the surface of our lives, but within our hearts and our souls. When we allow this to happen, our actions move from routine to love. Our prayers move from words to relationship. Our lives move from being about ourselves to being about God and others. A call to an interior recognition. So as we prepare for Christmas, let us ask ourselves, am I just seeing Christ on the outside, or do I recognize him within me and in others? Do I allow my faith to transform my heart and not just my habits? The joy of this gospel is that when we make this interior movement, when we truly recognize Jesus, our hearts, like John the Baptist, will leap for joy. We will become like Elizabeth, filled with the Holy Spirit, able to see the hand of God at work in our lives. And like Mary, we will carry Christ into the world, not as a burden, but as a source of life and of hope. May this Advent help us make that journey from the exterior to the interior, so that Christ may be born not just in Bethlehem, but in our hearts. God bless you.